Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So, Scorpio, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. Okay, with all that being said, Scorpio, let's get started. Okay, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Eight of Cups, and then we also have the Death card. You're definitely walking away from a situation, okay? I do want to see exactly what it is that you're walking away from, but you're definitely walking away from a situation, all right? Now, there is an overall energy of, yes, you walking away from someone in particular, but there's this energy of, okay, wait a minute, are they not going to run after me? Like, what's going on? Like, they're just going to let me walk? Like, they're just going to let me walk right out of their life? They're not going to try to stop me? Like, it has that type of feel to it, especially with the Page of Swords coming out here. Definitely has that type of feel. Of you kind of like looking back at someone like, okay, wait a minute, you're just going to let me go? You're just going to let me walk out? Like, you're not going to try to stop me? Like, what's going on? Like, it has that type of feel to it, Scorpio. Let's look at the Eight of Cups. Let's see what you're walking away from. Tell me more about the Eight of Cups. Okay. We have the Ten of Swords, we have the Devil out here, and then we also have the Hierophant. Right off the bat, I can tell that you're definitely walking away from someone that you're not necessarily on the same page with. I feel like you want one thing and this person wants something entirely different, okay? You do come off to me as somebody who's seeking for a committed relationship with someone, okay? Your person, on the other hand, it kind of looks like that's not something that this person is essentially seeking for. It kind of looks like this person, it's interesting. They feel more comfortable. They feel more comfortable having like a friends with benefits sort of situation with you than a serious committed relationship with you, which could definitely, you know, imply that this person might have like a massive fear of intimacy. So friends with benefits type of situations make them feel really comfortable. Surface level relationships might make them feel really comfortable. That's definitely a possibility. I just feel like this person has a massive fear of like fully going there with a person. Yeah, they have a massive fear of fully going there with a person. So they rather have like surface level relationships with people than deep and meaningful connections with people because it scares them is kind of what I'm getting. But yeah, you and this person are just not on the same page. I feel like, you know, you do not have that fear when it comes down to fully going there with a person. Them, on the other hand, they do. And because they do have this massive fear of fully going there with a person, and I'm talking about just anyone in general, not just you, it has caused the two of you, unfortunately, to not be on the same page as one another, is basically what I'm getting. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Cups. We also have the Three of Swords. You know, there is an overall energy of you essentially feeling like you just kind of have to let this person go and not continue to pursue this person and or this connection anymore, especially because I feel like, you know, you want one thing and this person wants something entirely different from what you essentially want. So in the end, you don't necessarily feel like you're going to get, you know, the commitment that you truly want and desire for yourself with this person because of, you know, where they're at in their mindset and what they're willing to create with you and what they're not willing to create with you. So with all of that being said, it does appear to me that you're choosing to walk away from this entire situation, obviously wanting, you know, this person to chase you down, obviously wanting this person to stop you, is what I'm getting with that Page of Swords energy. Let's look at this person though. Let's see how they're currently viewing this relationship with you. How does this person currently view this relationship? Okay. As far as like you ending things with this person is concerned, double confirmation that you were the one that initiated this ending here between the two of you. You did have the Knight of Cups and the Three of Swords out here. So double confirmation that you were the one that initiated this ending here between the two of you. But as far as like they're concerned, I don't necessarily feel like they're too happy about it. I don't feel like they wanted this relationship between the two of you to come to an end whatsoever. I do want to entertain this Five of Cups energy furthermore. Obviously, you know, you ending things here with them, you know, they're not too happy about it, but I just want to kind of see why, you know, this person's not too happy, right, about you bringing this entire situation to an end, just to see, you know, just to be nosy, just to see what else we can get here. I'm going to break this overall energy down really quickly here because I really want to spend more time focusing on this Five of Cups energy than this energy that's showing up here for them. With the Page of Cups to the Ace of Pentacles to the Ace of Wands coming out here, There is an overall energy of them just simply wanting to focus right now on their career. There's a possibility that this person could very well be thinking about turning a passion of theirs into a business, because I'm also getting that, or they could very well be thinking about going back to school. I just feel like right now, what they want to focus on has absolutely nothing to do with love, or, running off into the sunset with anyone or building with anyone. Like right now, all they really want to focus on is their career and the life that they want to manifest and create for themselves, which is something that this person could have definitely told you on multiple different occasions. Like, look, Scorpio, I just want to focus on my money right now. I just want to focus on my career right now. I just want to focus on getting this business off the ground. I just want to focus on turning this passion of mine into a business. This person could have definitely told you that on multiple different occasions. That's definitely a possibility. But with all that being said, I do want to look at the Five of Cups. Tell me more about the Five of Cups. Okay. We have they don't want you to go anywhere. They really don't want you to go anywhere. They really do not want you to go anywhere. But if it's one thing that I will say is that they're not stopping you. They're not stopping you. They're not stopping you. This is one of those situations where it's like, you know what, Scorpio, if you want to leave, then just leave. You know what I mean? If you want to stay, stay. But since you want to leave, since you want to end things, that's fine. Just go. Just go. Just go. I don't feel like they want you to leave, though. And they may not even communicate that to you, to be honest. Like, they may not even communicate to you that they don't want you to go anywhere, that they don't want you to leave, that they don't want you to bring this entire situation to an end. They may not even communicate that to you. Because this to me kind of feels like they are choosing to kind of keep how they feel about you, and you bringing this entire situation, to an end to themselves with that hermit energy coming out here. They're definitely keeping how they feel about this whole entire situation to themselves. So that's why I kind of feel like they're more than likely not even going to tell you that. Like, oh, please, Scorpio, don't leave. Please don't do this. Like, they may not even go as far as to do all of that. And it is stemming from a place of ego and pride. A King of Wands is kind of known for being a little bit of, being a little bit prideful. The King of Wands is kind of known for, allowing their ego to kind of call the shots at times. And I feel like that's just kind of what we're seeing here. Their ego is really calling the shots right now. Their pride is just not letting them tell you, that they don't want you to leave, and that they don't want you to go anywhere, and that they don't want you to bring this entire situation to an end. But I feel like had this person not allowed their ego and their pride to really call the shots here, they would have definitely communicated that to you, that they don't want you to leave and that they don't want you to bring this entire situation to an end. But because this person is operating from a place of ego and pride, they more than likely are not going to communicate that to you. Okay? A lot of you might be under the impression that, oh, you see, this person never cared about me. Look, they're not even running after me. Look, they're not even trying to stop me. They're just letting me go. They're just letting me go. And I was getting that they are just simply letting you, walk right out of their life, even though that's not what they want. As far as you walking out of their life is concerned, due to the way they're responding and reacting towards you ending this, is causing you to more than likely feel like, you see, this person doesn't even care about me. How does Scorpio currently feel? Okay. We have the Justice card. I feel like this is what you want. I feel like this is what you want them to do, but it doesn't look like that's what they're currently doing. It kind of looks like what you want this person to do is to try to convince you, right? To stay, to not leave. It kind of looks like what you want this person to do is to try to, fix and repair things here, between the two of you. But again, that's currently something that this person's not doing. You want them to do it, but I don't feel like that's something that they're currently doing right now. How does Scorpio feel about all of this? How does Scorpio feel about all of this? We have the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Devil out here, and then we also have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, a lot of you feel like this person never really cared about you. They never really valued you. They never really appreciated you and what you guys once upon a time had with one another. And it is due to, unfortunately, the way that they're choosing to respond and react to all of this due to their ego and their pride. Okay? A lot of you might feel also too like, this person was just simply taking advantage of you, because I am definitely getting that a lot of you might feel like the person was just here to take advantage of you and use you. They didn't really care about you. All they really cared about is what they were able to essentially get from you, okay? Whether that be your time, energy, your resources, sex, whatever have you, right? A lot of you just feel like they were only around because of what they were essentially receiving from you and out of this entire situation that you guys once upon a time had with one another. Outside of that, you genuinely feel like this person never really cared about you. They only stuck around because they were getting something out of this relationship, is how you feel. I'm not saying that that's the case whatsoever. I am going based off of that is how you feel. You feel like they only stuck around for as long as they did because they were getting something out of you in this relationship that they once upon a time had with you. Outside of that, you feel like they just honestly didn't care. Okay. Like I said, I just want to kind of throw that out there one more time. I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm not saying that that's the case. That is how you feel about this entire situation. Not saying that it's not true. You catch my drift. How does this person currently feel? Okay. So, God, come on, man. Okay. So we do have, all right, we do have the Emperor. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And then we also have the Star out here. At the bottom of the deck, we have that same old energy with the Five of Cups to the World, to the Hermit, to the King of Wands. I do feel like this person is trying their hardest to keep themselves extremely busy / occupied, and it could very well be with, work or, turning this passion of theirs into business, because I'm definitely getting that as well. This person, again, they could very well be thinking about going back to school to land a job in a field that they're extremely passionate about. But right now, I just see this person hyper-focused on their future and, the person that they want to become and the life that they want to, manifest and create for themselves. Don't get me wrong, you still weigh very heavily on this person's mind. Like, even though this person is not talking to you, and even though you're not talking to them, and even though there's a lot of distance here between the two of you, they still think about you till this day. They still think about you till this day. You are somebody who does weigh very, very heavily on this person's mind. When this person is not working or focusing on, this life that they want to manifest and create for themselves, and they get a little bit of downtime, I feel like that's when they tend to think about you the most. How does this person currently feel about Scorpio? Okay. All right. We have the Knight of Pentacles, we got the King of Pentacles, and then we also have the King of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Queen of Swords, we have the Tower to the Knight of Wands. Like I said, I feel like this person still tends to think about you and what they once upon a time had with you and how things essentially came to an end between you and them. But because this person is keeping themselves extremely busy / occupied, whether it be with work or turning this passion of theirs into a business, it is consuming a lot of their time, especially a lot of their mental energy, is what I'm also kind of getting as well. This person's very focused, I would say, on themselves and the life that they want to manifest and create for themselves. But in regards to how they're feeling about you and this relationship that they share with you, believe it or not, I was trying to find another way to say this, but because I'm just so blunt and straightforward, it's kind of hard for me to find another way to kind of sugarcoat this because I suck at sugarcoating things. But I'm just going to tell you exactly what came to my mind in regards to you. They're kind of looking at this entire situation like, you know what, they'll get over it. Like, they'll get over it. They'll eventually meet somebody else, and they'll eventually forget about me. It has that type of feel to it. It's weird. It's as if this person's looking at you like you weren't even that invested in them anyways. So with that being said, that's why they're looking at you the way that they're looking at you. Like, they'll get over it. They'll forget about me. They'll eventually start talking to somebody else, and I'll be a thing of the past. It is what it is. Like, it has that type of feel to it. But it's mainly because they're kind of looking at you, Scorpio, as somebody who wasn't even that emotionally invested anyways when it came down to them. So with that being said, they're kind of looking at you like, it's only a matter of time, before you move on with your life. It's only a matter of time before you start talking to somebody else. It's only a matter of time before they become a thing in the past in your mind anyways. Interesting. It's weird. It's very weird. Because it's like they're looking at you as somebody who really didn't want this that badly anyways. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's very weird the way that they look at you in this entire situation with you. And it's mainly because it clashes with how you're really looking at the situation. Like, in your eyes, this person really did mean a lot to you, but in their eyes, they kind of feel like, oh, no, that's not the case. Yeah, that's not the case. That's not the case. You know what I mean? I don't mean anything to Scorpio, but it's weird, right? Because looking at your energy, like I said, it kind of like clashes with how they're looking at this entire situation because you're looking at this person as somebody who means a great deal to you. But they're kind of looking at you like, no, that's not the case. That's not the, no, no, that's not the case. No, no, it's not the case. I didn't matter to Scorpio. That's not the case. I didn't really matter to them. They're going to be fine. They're going to move on with their life and they're going to forget about me. I didn't really matter to them anyways, you know? Okay, let's keep going, you guys. What actions will Scorpio take towards this person or moving forward? Ooh, okay. So we have the Five of Cups, we have the Five of Swords, and then we have the Six of Swords. Okay. The bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the King of Pentacles, and then we also have the Ace of Cups. What you want this person to do currently at the moment, Scorpio, they're not doing it. And I feel like that really does bother you and that really does upset you. You know what I mean? Because you just want this person to show you, you know what I mean? That, you know, they don't want to lose you. You just want this person to show you that they actually care about you. You just want this person to show you that, you know, you actually did mean a great deal to them. Like, that's all you want, you know what I mean, from this person. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like you're getting that from them. It doesn't look like you're getting that from them. And that in itself really does upset you. And it really, really does hurt your feelings. It really, really does. Because at the end of the day, it's like now you're left feeling like, you know what? This person never cared about me. They never freaking cared about me. I never mattered to them. Like, you know, they were just around me just to use me and take advantage of me. Like that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. Let's jump back to this person. You know what? Let me rewind real quick. How does this person view Scorpio? Okay. We have the Tower. One second. Okay, we have the Tower. We have the Magician. We also have the Five of Wands, and then we also have the interesting. Okay. See, I feel like, listen, dude, I feel like you're not seeing them clearly, and I feel like they're not seeing you clearly, and that's the real problem here. Now, let me break this down really quickly here. In regards to how they view you, before I say this, okay, we are going based off of them and how they're looking at the entire situation doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. The same thing that I said about you. You know, just because you think or believe or feel like this person was just simply in your life to use you and take advantage of you doesn't necessarily mean that that is the case. You know, that's just how you feel, and I'm not confirming to you that that's what happened here, right? Especially because I don't have the cards to insinuate that that was essentially their intentions or the case. So I can't sit here and be like, yeah, you're right, Scorpio, unless I have the cards to like confirm that. And I actually don't have the cards to confirm that, to be completely honest. So I can't sit here and be like, yeah, Scorpio, like you're right. But again, you're entitled to feel the way that you feel. If you feel like this person was just around you to take advantage of you, you're entitled to feel that way, right? Just like they're entitled to, you know, view you the way that they basically view you as somebody who didn't really care about them, somebody who, you know, is just going to move on with their life, you know, as if this never meant anything, you know, to you. You see what I mean, right? Anyways, okay, so the best way that I can describe this energy is them essentially looking at you like you're like this Playboy Playgirl like energy. And you know, they'll be damned, right? If they get played by you is basically what I'm getting. Okay. Now I'm not going to sit here and say that you're a player, nor do I agree with them on this because of the simple fact that we already looked at you and how you were looking at them in this entire situation. So no, I wouldn't necessarily agree with them on this as far as like you being like this Playboy Playgirl like energy, because I definitely wasn't getting that vibe off of you whatsoever. But yeah, this person looks at you like you're like this Playboy Playgirl like energy. They basically look at you as somebody who's, you know, out to get them, somebody who doesn't have their best interests at heart. So, you know, they'll be damned. You know what I mean? If they fall for your tricks, they'll be damned if they fall for your games. That's my thing, you guys, is that I don't feel No, I don't feel like you had any sort of intentions. You know what I mean? Of like, running any type of damn game on this person like they think, but they seem to think so. Okay? They seem to think so. Um, yeah, they seem to think so. They seem to think and believe that you were just in their life to run this little game on them and get them to fall for you so you can turn around and play them. And again, you got to keep in mind that we're dealing with somebody here who has a lot of ego and pride. Okay. So, they're harnessing this energy of I'll be damned. You know what I mean? If I fall for Scorpio's little games, and I'll be damned. You know what I mean? If I get played by Scorpio, I'll be damned. You know what I mean? You guys are not seeing each other clearly. That's the problem. You guys are not seeing each other clearly. And to be honest, let me confirm. Let me confirm. How did this person feel about Scorpio when they were with them? All right, let's do it. And by the way, we are going based off of them and how they feel, okay? This person looks at you as somebody who was there for them during extremely challenging and trying times, okay? This person does look at you as somebody who was definitely there for them through the good times and the bad times. And that's something that they really do value and appreciate about you, is that you were there for them through the good times and the bad times. When everybody else left them and abandoned them, like, you stood by their damn side. And that's something that this person does value and appreciate about you, is that you were there for them through the good times and the bad times, okay? Now, here's what I'm going to go ahead and say it, okay? Jumping back to you, you basically felt like this person was just around to just take advantage of you and use you. Nope, I can't say that. I can't really agree with you on that. And it's mainly because of the energy that just came out here for this person. See, this is that type of person, because you got to keep in mind, they have a lot of ego and pride, so just be mindful of that, okay? This is that type of person that comes off to me as somebody who doesn't like to ask for help. They don't like to ask for help. They could be going through hell on earth and they will never ask a person for help. You know what I mean? So it kind of looks like what happened is that they were going through a difficult period in life, and because you care about them, because you love them, and because you don't want them, you just don't want to see them go through anything, you kind of offered to basically help them and be there for them. Nobody asked you to. That was something that you did out of the kindness of your heart, which just goes to show how big of a heart you actually have. You have a really big heart, right? And you cared for this person deeply. I feel like that's what happened here. I don't feel like it was one of those situations where they were just, how do you say that word in English, taking advantage of you. I don't know. Nope. Nope. And they're showing up as a King of Swords. No. Highly doubt it. I highly doubt that, this person was just, out here trying to take advantage of you left and right. And it's mainly because of the energy that they harness and the court cards that are coming out here for them. See, had you been, let me think. Let me think. See, had you been dealing with somebody, like, for example, a page, right? Which I don't feel like this person is a page, even though they did, I'm sorry, they do have the Page of Cups over here. I feel like this is more so kind of like, referring to them communicating to you. Like, Scorpio, this is what I want to focus on. This is what I want to do with my life. Because you could definitely look at the pages as, cards that just basically represent communication, okay? And by the way, the Page of Cups basically represents somebody who, yes, is communicating from the heart, and everything that they are communicating to you is coming from a very genuine and sincere place, okay? Anyways, so pages are typically people that are very, very codependent off of other people because they could barely take care of themselves. This person comes off to me as somebody who's fully capable of taking care of themselves. So therefore, nope, I don't feel like this person was trying to take advantage of you or anything like that. Not only that, but it's the core cards that they harness, and how the King of Swords and the King of Wands typically acts. They're just also kind of known for not necessarily liking to ask anyone for help, because again, it's like an ego and pride thing. You know what I mean? So with that being said, No, I would have to disagree with you on that as far as like them being in your life to just to simply take advantage of you. No. This person could have definitely told you, hey, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and you may have offered, you know what I mean, to be there for them and help them, but it wasn't stemming from a place of Scorpio, I need this from you, I need that from you, and you need to do this for me, you need no. I am not no, because they're way too prideful to do something like that. They're too prideful to do something like that. To sit there and tell you like, Scorpio, you need to help me out with this, you need to help me out with that, I need you to do this for me. I need no. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. This is somebody who's used to people not being there for them. They're used to it. They're used to being the lone wolf, you know, and facing things all by themselves. So, no, I would have to disagree with you on that as far as like, you know, them just being in your life just to take advantage of you. No, I'm not getting that whatsoever. Okay, what actions will this person take towards Scorpio and moving forward? All right. So we do have the Page of Pentacles. We also have the King of Swords. And then we also have the Seven of Cups out here. Before I open my mouth, I do want to... This to me kind of feels like curiosity starting to kind of sink in on their behalf in regards to you. It's like this person's curious to know, like, I wonder what Scorpio's up to. I wonder what Scorpio's doing. This to me just kind of feels like an overall energy of curiosity that they're experiencing on their behalf in regards to you and what you could possibly be up to. I want to look at this a little bit more. Tell me more about the King of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Chariot out here. And then we also have the Six of Cups. There is an overall energy of them wanting to call you and text you, but I feel like this person's forcing themselves not to call you and or text you. The desire to do so, it's definitely present in their overall energy, but I feel like they're forcing themselves not to. Why? Because at the end of the day, you want what you want and they want what they want. You want something more meaningful with this person. They don't necessarily feel like they're ready for all of that. So with that being said, they kind of feel like it's pointless, right? For them to reel you back in all over again, just so that way you could essentially be extremely unhappy with this entire situation between you and them, because they're not necessarily ready to turn around and give you what it is that you want. Okay, so they kind of feel like, you know, it's pointless to call you, it's pointless to reach out to you, because at the end of the day, they know what you want, and what you want clashes with what they want. In other words, what's going to make you happy may not make this person happy. What's going to make this person happy may not make you happy, you know? I do want to look at the Devil. Here's what I will say, and listen, I'm just hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. I do respect the fact that they're forcing themselves to stay away from you. I do respect that a whole lot, and here's why. Because this person comes off to me as somebody who's choosing to not be selfish. They're choosing to not be selfish. At the end of the day, yeah, they want what they want. You know what I mean? Which is kind of like a surface level relationship, nothing more, nothing less, right? But see, you want far more than that. And they know that. You don't got to tell them that. They know that. So this is them putting their own personal wants and needs to the side, right? Because they still want you in their life. Don't get me wrong, but they know that they want you in this relationship in ways that you don't, you know what I mean? Because you want far more than what they want. So this is them choosing to kind of put their own selfish needs to the side, and just respect the fact that, you know what, no, let me leave Scorpio alone, because at the end of the day, like, I know that they want something serious, and I know I'm not ready for that. So even though, yeah, I miss them, even though, yeah, I want them back in my life, and even though, yeah, I had really good times with them, like, let me stay the fuck away. You know what I mean? But it is stemming from a place of them essentially knowing that at the end of the day, you want what you want and they want what they want, and what they want is going to make you very, very unhappy, and all it's going to really do is take up time, you know what, right? From you eventually meeting the perfect person for you, and they don't want to come in between that. So that's one thing that I do have a lot of respect for in regards to this person, because they could easily call you, they could easily text you and waste your time some more. They could, but at the end of the day, it's like they just don't want to do that shit to you. Like they don't, like they rather, you know, let you go and allow you to find the perfect person for you, and allow you to find the person who's basically ready for exactly what you're ready for, than to sit up here and waste your time. Because at the end of the day, they know how you feel, they know what you want. So And there's that, you guys, you know? And there's that. Then there's that. And there's that. Yeah, the Seven of Swords that just flew out randomly with the Queen of Swords, and then we also have the Hierophant. Okay. Scorpio. I do feel like eventually, I feel like you and this person will cross paths with one another. It's gonna happen. You guys will eventually cross paths with one another. And when you guys do cross paths with one another, I do see you guys having a conversation with one another in regards to everything that we're currently seeing right now, okay, transpire between the two of you. And I feel like it's going to change your perception of this person. It's like you go from looking at them like they're the bad guy, they just sat up here and wasted all your damn time, and how dare they, and they took advantage of me, and etc., etc., etc. It's like you go from looking at them like they're the bad guy to like, okay, I understand, and you know what? You're not as bad as I thought you were, because they're not. Because they're not. They're not as bad as you think they are. Currently at the moment, I get it. You looking at them like they are the fucking evil villain at this point. And I understand that, you know what I mean? But I'm being real with you, Scorpio. I don't feel like you're looking at them clearly, and I don't feel like they're looking at you clearly. I feel like you have this whole perception of them that, to be real, is false. And I feel like they have this whole perception of you. And like I said, to be real, it's false. You guys are not looking at each other clearly. Like, to be real with you, like, I feel like there's a lot of love. A lot of love and respect here. A lot of love and respect here. I just feel like right now, dude, you just don't see that. And right now, they just don't see that. But there's a lot of respect here. And there's a lot of love here. You know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe the next time y'all revisit this, you know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe something could happen. Maybe they'll be ready. You know what I mean? But okay, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Eight of Cups, and then we also have the Death card. You're definitely walking away from a situation, okay? I do want to see exactly what it is that you're walking away from, but you're definitely walking away from a situation, all right? Now, there is an overall energy of, yes, you walking away from someone in particular, but there's this energy of, okay, wait a minute, are they not going to run after me? Like, what's going on? Like, they're just going to let me walk? Like, they're just going to let me walk right out of their life? They're not going to try to stop me? Like, it has that type of feel to it, especially with the Page of Swords coming out here. Definitely has that type of feel. Of you kind of like looking back at someone like, okay, wait a minute, you're just going to let me go? You're just going to let me walk out? Like, you're not going to try to stop me? Like, what's going on? Like, it has that type of feel to it, Scorpio. Let's look at the Eight of Cups. Let's see where you're walking away from. Tell me more about the Eight of Cups. Okay. We have the Ten of Swords, we have the Devil out here, and then we also have the Hierophant. Right off the bat, I can tell that you're definitely walking away from someone that you're not necessarily on the same page with. I feel like you want one thing and this person wants something entirely different, okay? You do come off to me as somebody who's seeking for a committed relationship with someone, okay? Your person, on the other hand, it kind of looks like that's not something that this person is essentially seeking for. It kind of looks like this person, it's interesting. They feel more comfortable. They feel more comfortable having like a friends with benefits sort of situation with you than a serious committed relationship with you, which could definitely, you know, imply that this person might have like a massive fear of intimacy. So friends with benefits type of situations make them feel really comfortable. Surface level relationships might make them feel really comfortable. That's definitely a possibility. I just feel like this person has a massive fear of like fully going there with a person. Yeah, they have a massive fear of fully going there with a person. So they rather have like surface level relationships with people than deep and meaningful connections with people because it scares them is kind of what I'm getting. But yeah, you and this person are just not on the same page. I feel like, you know, you do not have that fear when it comes down to fully going there with a person. Them, on the other hand, they do. And because they do have this massive fear of fully going there with a person, and I'm talking about just anyone in general, not just you, it has caused the two of you, unfortunately, to not be on the same page as one another. is basically what I'm getting. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Cups. We also have the Three of Swords. You know, there is an overall energy of you essentially feeling like you just kind of have to let this person go and not continue to pursue this person and or this connection anymore, especially because I feel like, you know, you want one thing and this person wants something entirely different from what you essentially want. So in the end, you don't necessarily feel like you're going to get, you know, the commitment that you truly want, desire for yourself with this person because of, you know, where they're at in their mindset and what they're willing to create with you and what they're not willing to create with you. So with all of that being said, it does appear to me that you're choosing to walk away from this entire situation, obviously wanting, you know, this person to chase you down, obviously wanting this person to stop you.